Trends today are set by creators. They reach out to their audience through social media, they own cafes, they write books, ebooks, physical and virtual workshops, or even events. And it's the same when it comes to tea. What about the new generation? What do they like to drink?
I am a hardcore tea drinker. Like if I don't drink one cup of tea in the morning, I'll get a serious headache in the evening. So I have to have one cup of tea, and it's so much so that I have to wake my mom up at 6 to make me like some tea if I'm not making it. Either I'll drink tea at home or I'll carry it in a flask if I'm running late, or I'll have it in college, but they add like a lot of sugar. Like you can ask them, like they make different variations of tea. So I'll have it there, or sometimes when I'm having like a social, my mom would make me another chai, which really helps. So I think whenever I have a cold, tea is like my solution.
When we usually have a free lecture or at the breakfast break, so the college canteen gets very crowded. So if we finish eating and all, we don't mind going somewhere else. And it's just 2 minutes away, so we can go, have a cup of tea and all, and then come back in time for the lecture. So we don't mind that over staying in the overcrowded college because we can't talk by ourselves and there it's a little more private. So we prefer that, at least having purpose.
Generally, when you guys go out, and what is it that you like ordering? Like in terms of drinks?
So during the tea time, I'd always order like, if there's not too much food, then I order like a cup of coffee or something hot. Also because I like the design that's always inside.
Latte.
Yeah, the latte art.
And what about you?
I feel it depends on the kind of cafe I'm going to and the occasion. So if I'm going for a breakfast thing or brunch, I don't mind a coffee. And whereas if I'm going for like a kind of an English breakfast, then I don't mind a cappuccino or maybe like a latte or like an iced latte.
If you were given an open hand and you were to drink tea in some form or the other, what form would you like it? I mean, even if it's the
iced tea current.
it's Long Island, Short Island,
That's probably a Long Island iced tea, okay?
jump into your bathtubs.
Meet Chef Urvika Kanoi. She owns a daily cafe in Kolkata and Duco in Mumbai. She belongs to the 4th generation of a tea planters family. And it's no surprise that tea is so close to her heart. And she's come up with some fabulous drinks centered around tea.
So before I start, I believe you have a tea connection yourself, which goes pretty deep, right?
It goes pretty deep. I mean, since before I was born. So my great-grandfather was actually the first Indian tea planter.
Oh, wow.
And it started from there. Then my granddad, then my dad. So we are like, I'm going to basically eventually be a 4th generation tea planter. So basically, if you see the youth right now, it's not that much only about iced teas. They also like things that are made out of tea. And you see popsicles, you see those little frozen slushy kind of treats. Also desserts which have tea. But when it comes to drinking just a hot cup of maybe liquor tea, maybe black, maybe green, it's not so much so of a norm that they'll come and order it. I think the focus is really moved from being a nation that's a tea drinking nation to a more coffee dominant one.
Okay. So one of the reasons for doing this show was to figure out what's the fuss around tea. Yeah. So you were also telling me earlier that tea in different forms, like for example, a couple of teas which you've introduced at Duco. One's what is anti-bloat tea?
Yeah, the anti-bloat tea is actually a herbal tea. Right now, herbal teas are becoming more popular, I would say. Teas that provide some sort of a service.
Okay.
Let's just put it like that.
Yeah.
It can be anti-bloat. It can be a weight loss tea. It can be something that's good for your skin. It can be something that's really good for your gut. A detox tea. These things, calming tea, these things are becoming way more popular than just your regular green tea.
So tell us what this is about.
So this is basically a concoction of a little bit of black tea.
Okay.
And the rest is all hibiscus petal.
Okay. And black tea is like what, granules or?
A granule.
Okay.
So we make
That's CTC.
That is CTC.
I'm just trying to.
But first flush. If you're going into the nitty-gritty though.
Yeah.
And of course,
that's more expensive than second.
that's more expensive, but that's also less pungent. I feel that's slightly less stronger. That on my personal thing. We anyways do an extremely light brew because we want you to be able to taste the petals.
I can't wait. So
Okay.
then you can tell me about it.
So this is just for you. This is just the dried petals of the hibiscus that we're using. Also finally, yes please. Please let me know how you like it. I get very stressed when someone's trying my food or my beverages for the first time.
Very, very nice. Very nice. And like you said, the tanginess.
Yeah.
And the tea hits you a bit later.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's very little bit in it. Honestly, but like you said, herbal teas are also made without any sort of tea in it. Like they can be from flowers, they can be from fruits.
But why is it called tea?
I think it's just the process of brewing that, and to ease it out, people have started using the name tea. Like you get tea which is from flower petals, you get it from candied peels, from regular peels. And honestly, they do have some health benefit.
Yeah.
Awesome. So that's my cue that go to sleep. I need to get back to the kitchen, but it was just
Oh, so lovely speaking to you.
And like I said, I mean, you're one of the reasons why chai country is happening.
Thank you so much.
I could speak to you.
And you're the only reason I came on camera was for you. Thank you so much for having me.
Pooja Dhingra is the OG influencer. Her brand Love 15 turned 13 this year. She's won every award to be won, and the way she's taken her brand in different directions is so inspiring.
So good to see you. So good to see you. So now, you know, there's this feel that it's all about coffee and stuff like that. But I was checking with your team. It's a very young team. And they said when breakouts happen or they want to de-stress, I don't know how much you stress them out.
but it's really a cup of tea. The sugar hit and the chai works.
The first thing I ever made was chai. My dad, back then that was the only thing that he actually made. So I would get a training of how much to make it, how strong to make it. Yeah. And then it just kind of became, and I started drinking it slightly later. And then I actually started Love 15 in our own kitchen that there was this chai wala outside. And every day, like when I wanted some peace and quiet, I would just step out of the kitchen. And Vijay, he became my friend, and he would make me this amazing chai with lemongrass and, that really like masala chai. And just like sitting out on the steps of that kitchen and drinking this chai, it became my sort of moment of calm. And so
Your own space.
my own space, yeah. Actually, in lockdown, with and chai in every home is so ritualistic, right? Like everyone has a particular way of making it, the way they serve it, what they eat.
Is good.
Yeah, and what they eat with it. It's almost like you're waiting. It's like your little moment of
Absolutely.
And I saw that a lot in COVID because I was home one day and at 4 o'clock was time with my parents. And we would make our chai and both sit around. We'd have our chai with our 2 biscuits. And it just became like this. It's also like a bonding sort of moment, right? Yeah. And the idea of I want to make something that accompanies chai, because I was like, the chai market in India is I could create a product that would kind of piggyback on it, would just be easier for me. So we created a product called the Dipki
Yeah, I remember, like, it is like really
jaggery cookie that we made that would actually work really well when it dips with chai. Okay, I'm supposed to give you a short glass of my chai or chocolate.
So it looks like your hot chocolate. And I'm going to see like, and when you were making itself, I was seeing these little dark brown spots.
Yeah, those are like chocolate chips.
Very, very different.
This cardamom, little bit of ginger powder.
So it's in a way your what you did with your macaron. And how's this doing?
It's doing really well, and I think that exactly like I feel like for most people, they when they associate hot chocolate, they don't think of chai, and
maybe spice notes and nutmeg.
So they kind of think that what would it taste like? But once people taste it, they really like it.
Yeah. Cheers. It's been a long journey. It's been a humbling journey. We've dissected the city from different angles: class, community, gender, geography when it comes to the city. But I think one thing's very clear, that when it comes to tea, chai, chaha, it's a universal emotion which binds the city together, which is why one can say this Chai Mumbai.